The first step in making the greenhouse is to get 6 2x6s for the foundation. And this next picture will actually show you how they're arranged. We're going to be arranging them into a hexagon on the ground. Each of these will have a 30-degree angle cut across each end. The quicker way to mark the angle, if you don't have a protractor, but you have a T-bevel, is set your saw to 30 degrees, loosen the nut on the T-bevel, pull it right to the end, set this side tight against the guide on the back of the saw, slide it down, put the metal part of the T-bevel tight against the saw blade. Then hold it firmly, tighten the knob carefully. Now take the bevel off, tighten it, then recheck. It should fit perfectly. See, there's no gap in between there. Now place your T-bevel on the wood, leave the point of the 2x6 intact, move the bevel just slightly past it, then go ahead and mark. Now you've got your line. You put the laser for the saw directly on this line. The saw will cut slightly to the other side of the line on the waste piece. So you're going to wind up leaving from the point all the way over to the 3 1/8 mark intact, which is going to be a really nice, tight 30-degree angle cut. Okay, what you want to do is you want to put your wood on the miter saw and set it to 30 degrees. When you turn your laser on, you can check the accuracy of your line. Or, if you don't have a laser, set it to 30 degrees, then lower the blade and use the blade to check your line. Now, a saw like this with a small blade is not really designed to cut all the way through a 2x6. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to make a cut most of the way through, and then I'm going to finish the rest with a handsaw. With the wood supported on here firmly, keep your hand away from this area, of course, and just keep the wood steady and make your cut. Alright, and now I'm going to finish the cut with a fine-tooth Japanese pull saw. These are the Shark Saw brand, and you can get these at a lot of better hardware stores. It's got a nice metal spine on the back of the blade, because the blade is paper thin. This keeps it nice and stiff and does good cuts. The blade is removable, and it has a rubberized handle to hang on to. So we're just going to go ahead and finish that cut all the way through. See, and these cut blazingly fast too. They're about $25. You now have one of the 6 sides finished. These are going to be the foundation boards for the entire greenhouse. You can make these out of pressure treated lumber if you want, or any number of other things. Also, once all 6 of these are assembled in the hexagon, you can lay them out on the ground and trace around them. Then move them out of the way, put cinder blocks down inside your line, put these on top of the cinder blocks. So you could actually raise these up off the ground if you don't have pressure treated lumber, so they don't get wet and waterlogged and all that. Many different ways to do it. Here's one way to check your work before you assemble the base. Stack all of the 2x6s on top of each other. Line them all up, making sure this line is very straight. You could go ahead and stack a ruler along here or whatever. Once you do that on one end, you'll notice these are all perfectly identical. Get one end of the 2x6s to line up really, really good, just like this. Then, when we go to the other end, you're going to see the errors. Notice the errors on this end? A couple of these are a little bit too long. The one that I marked without the TBevel is off by a good 1/8 of an inch. And this one's a little bit long too. That error and that error is going to multiply, and the hexagon will wind up having gaps. So what you can do is stack all your wood together, run a pencil along here, mark your errors, then take the wood back and recut. Then restack again, make sure all the ends are perfect. Then when you go to put down your hexagon, it'll come out great. Okay, and there you are. With all your 2x6s assembled together, you should get a big hexagon. If you're off even by an 1/8 of an inch, it will set other boards off all the way around. The error basically adds up. So trying to make hexagons is pretty demanding, so you'll just have to fool around and really make sure that you do a good job of these.